Real quick, I need you to think of a moment where you did something completely terrified. I'm talking heart racing, palm sweaty, mom spaghetti. I can never make that reference without bringing in some Eminem, okay? Okay, let me get it back on track. But you know that feeling when you are scared beyond scared and you're feeling all the feels. Maybe it was the moment when you decided to hit publish finally. Or it was the time when you walked into a room and you did not know a soul, and yet you walked in and sat down like you belonged. That right there, it is not a coincidence, friend. It is not personality or luck. And it's not even something that you were born with. That is built confidence. And today we're going to get into exactly how to build more of it, even when you feel like there is absolutely none of it around. Let's get into it because so many women are sitting in the waiting room of their own life as if they are sitting in the doctor's office waiting on their number to get called. But the problem is, in that waiting room, your number is never getting called. We have the game all the way messed up. We think that confidence is just supposed to be the starting point when it just doesn't happen that way. Action comes before confidence. It's just like wanting to be in shape, but never stepping a foot in a gym or doing any sort of workouts. Like, it's not going to happen that way. And we know that. And then when we're looking around and comparing ourselves to so many women who look like they just have it all together, what we really have to remember is that same woman, she was afraid too when she first got started. The difference is she didn't take her feeling of being scared or not having confidence, she didn't let that be a stop sign. She let it be a green light to actually get into practice and building up the muscle of confidence. And that's really what we got to do, friend. Here's the reframe I want you to hold on to. Confidence is more than just a feeling, it's a track record. Think of it like a bank account. Every time you take a brave action, every time you make a step, baby step, a bold move, or somewhere in between, that account is stacking. And the more that you invest action into that account, the more self trust you're building. And guess what that self trust turns into? You know it. Confidence. Yes, friend. So, really, if you stop looking for confidence to show up and start taking action, baby, now we're in business and now we're building that muscle of confidence. So, the question stops being, how do I feel confident? And the question becomes, what actions do I need to take to build up my confidence muscle? That's where it's at, friend. We are building confidence. We are not waiting for it to show up because confidence is not a starting point, it's a result. Now, I don't want to sit here and pretend like taking action is always the easiest, most comfortable thing to do. Because let's face it, taking action can be really uncomfortable. So let's get into the three most uncomfortable things you have to do to actually build up that confidence. Number one, start before you're ready. Friend, we spend so much time waiting around to feel ready. And we think that once we feel ready, once we've taken all the courses, once we've gotten the certification, once we are making a certain amount of money, we think that all of these external factors are going to give us this feeling that now I'm ready to get started. Friend, if you are waiting on things outside of yourself to get started, you will be waiting for a bus that's never coming. So just think about that thing that you've been postponing. Is it a call you know you need to make? Is it that launch that you've been putting off and you know that you really do need to get it going? What is it that you've been stalling or procrastinating on? Because I guarantee you, you're probably waiting to feel ready. But what if waiting to feel ready is not actually the starting line? What if it's the finish line? Because when you start taking action, you build up momentum. It is taking those baby steps, those in between, all the way up to the bold moves. It is within the actions that you're taking that actually build up momentum. And that is what helps you to feel ready. It's because you've been getting ready, you've been practicing, you've been putting in the reps. Because let's face it, everything that we start, we're starting as a beginner. You don't start anything and just end up at the top. No, you have to put in some time, effort, and energy in order to build that muscle, in order to actually get to a point where you are poised and polished, where you've had enough failures that you've learned some incredible lessons, and now you can use that knowledge and experience to actually appear to be the master. So, friend, it is so important that you are not just sitting around letting time pass you by, waiting for a feeling that does not come at the starting line. It's going to meet you at the finish line, and that is where your confidence is. It is putting in those reps and building up that momentum because when you do feel confident, guess what? There is going to be another level that requires that confident version of you to go on in and do the dang on thing. So, you have to keep going. You have to take action. You have to forget about thinking that confidence is going to meet you at the starting line. It's really going to meet you at the finish line. Number two, stay in the room when you want to shrink. Friend, this is probably the one that I have to work on the most because it is so easy to fall away to the wayside, to be on the sidelines or blended into the background and not actually taking your position center stage or even on the stage. You don't even got to be at the center yet. Sometimes it's just your rightful position on the stage. Can we just get you on it? And you know what I mean. That time you were sitting in the meeting and you had something to add of value, and yet you just kept quiet because you didn't think anyone wanted to hear from you. Or maybe it was the time when you decided to not share your ideas or voice your needs and your wants just because you thought that they might not be well received or even met. These are the moments when we want to shrink because we are afraid of the response that we're going to get or even the lack thereof. So, friend, those are your opportunities to actually stand firm and say it with your chest. These are the times to share your ideas, your thoughts, your needs, your wants, your desires, your big ideas. These are those moments that you can actually make a deposit into your confidence account, that you can trust yourself to use your voice. Because what happens when you decide to shrink is you make a withdrawal from your confidence account, and it's going to be big. And over time, those withdrawals add up. And then next thing you know, you're feeling like your confidence is even less than when you started out on this journey. So recognize the impact that shrinking actually has on your confidence account. And even if you just start with expressing something small and simple and getting comfortable there and then working your way up to share more, that is completely fine, friend. I once had a lady on my team who was terrified of public speaking, like terrified, could not say anything in a meeting. And I challenged her to just come to every team call and just say hello. That's it. Just a simple hello. And she did that enough times to where she got comfortable and she wanted to share more. She wanted to speak a little bit more. In time, she became the person on my team who wanted to facilitate calls regularly. She was like, listen, if no one wants to host, I'd be happy to do it. She was always the person who filled in when people were out of the office or if they were having a moment and, shy or unable to, for whatever reason, host or facilitate, she was the person that everyone called on and she became someone who loved it. So, friend, it is okay to start small and build your way up. That's how you stack up your confidence account. That's how you create momentum. And that's how you become the person who is no longer afraid to share your voice and your talents and even your heart. So don't shrink, friend. When those opportunities present themselves, take that action. Small, medium, or large, all is welcome here. Remember, friend, you don't have to be the loudest in the room. You just can't be invisible. Okay? Okay. Now, let's go on to number 3. And this one is so important. Please keep the promises that you make to yourself. Your self trust is so interconnected with your confidence. When you make a promise to yourself, keep it. When you give yourself your word that today is the day that you are going to drink 2 more cups of water than you usually do, honor that. Really set reminders on your phone that remind you to get up and refill your water bottle at certain times of the day. Because when you keep even the smallest promises to yourself, you are training your brain and your nervous system. I can trust her. I can trust myself. Because when you don't keep your word to yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to start tomorrow, and then tomorrow becomes next Tuesday, your brain and your nervous system and your body is like, oh, she doesn't keep track. She does not trust herself. We can't trust her. So it is so important that you honor the word that you give to yourself. Honor your own commitments. Love yourself enough to keep your word to yourself. Keep your promises to you. Because how can you expect anyone to keep their word or their promise with you if you can't keep it with you? It all starts with you first. And the more self trust you have within yourself, the more you begin to feel confident in who you are and what you say you're really about. It really truly is one of the pinnacle pieces. It is like the foundation of you building up your confidence, is keeping your word to you. You deserve that, friend. You really do. Here's the shift. When you start reframing those uncomfortable moments and stop looking at them like a stop sign and look at it as a sign you are building, That's when so many things change for you, friend. Think of it like a house. Have you ever seen pictures or even seen a home being built from the foundation up? It's not much to look at. Okay. In the beginning and even in the middle stages, when things are like finally taking shape, it isn't much to look at. But when you see that finished product, you know that that house is a home and it's going to be filled with so much heart, love, laughter, and amazing memories are going to be made there. It didn't look like much to begin with, or even during the messy middle. But in the end, that foundation is strong and you love the way that the house looks like when everything is all said and done. Your confidence is very much the same way. It doesn't look like much in the very beginning and even during the messy middle, but once everything is all built, you will be so very happy that you stayed the course and you are looking at something that went from just a foundation and some studs and actually turned into this beautiful place that you now call home. Friend, you are not waiting for confidence anymore. You are building it brick by brick, action by action, one brave moment at a time. So tell me in the comments, what is that one thing that you've been avoiding that if you just committed to doing it, it would actually help you build your confidence. And if you are even more brave and bold, drop it for me in the comments because I would love to celebrate you and cheer you on. I hope that you loved today's episode. This is actually coming from the series that I've been doing on the podcast, Confident and Empowered Women. This is a part of the Unavailable for Self Abandonment series. But on YouTube, this is the application version. This is taking what we've learned on the podcast and really putting it into action into your real life. So make sure that you come back tomorrow for the next episode, and I'll see you then.